Hello everybody and welcome to a picturesque Rio Grande Credit Union field here at Isotopes Park. This is round 4 between these Mountain Division opponents. It's New Mexico United hosting San Antonio FC. We'll be back in just a second. The 2021 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined tonight by Chris Hurst. And Chris, both of these sides locked in a playoff battle of their own. It's a must-win for New Mexico.
It really is a must-win. Like, playoffs start now, and you can sense it all around the building. Everyone wants to win tonight if you're New Mexico United.
These here are the players to watch, brought to you by Lumen Optimal Wellness. Enjoy a healthier body and mind today. Starting first with New Mexico's Chris Wehan. He's the Orange County native. He's scored the game winner in his last 2 matches against San Antonio, dating back, Chris, to the playoffs last year and then the most recent match between these two sides.
10 goals this season, 6 for New Mexico United. Didn't play for New Mexico United for the first 17 games of the season. Those 6 goals for New Mexico United still makes him top scorer here.
On the flip side, for San Antonio, it's the Jackson, Mississippi native, Marcus Epps, making his 30th appearance here tonight. He is the team leader in assists. He's got 4 to his name. However, he's picked up 3 of those in just the last 4 games.
Yeah, dynamic player, known for breaking from midfield, finding that space just behind the front two. New Mexico United will do well to know where he is when they are breaking forward.
We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be back with lineups and kickoff.
B-Dub's new crispy hand-breaded classic chicken sandwich plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite casino. Best customer service, best entertainment venue, best slot machines and poker room, best variety of table games, best rewards program, and best golf course. Best buffet, favorite nightclub, favorite casino. Albuquerque, you deserve the best. Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
I'm not a passenger. I'm a pilot.
In training?
Yeah, in training. My dad taught me to fly. To fire the burner, read the wind, and plot a course over our home, the land of enchantment.
Are we started? Head to B-Dubs for 50% off this loaded lineup of tots, chips, and ultimate nachos. But wait, how's beer for just $3? There's officially something for everyone, even that friend whose curfew is 10 p.m. Late night at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Back at the lab, tonight's match is presented by Kairos Power, the future of nuclear power. It is Somos Unidos Foundation night. 10% of the ticket proceeds being donated to the Somos Unidos Foundation of New Mexico United. We'll get to that in just a moment. Right now, we're having a look at the Michelob Ultra starting 11s. First here with New Mexico, getting the start after the dramatic stoppage time goal, Chris. The Serbian Ilya Ilic. We do see Guzman Tanari in the midfield. It is the back 3 unchanged of Yearwood, Ryden, and Tete. And of course, the Greek statue back there, Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, attacking group pretty much picks itself tonight for New Mexico United due to injuries. Imagine Ilic will be the point of that attacking spear, if you will, there with Wehan and Rivas just buzzing in behind him there.
And now here for San Antonio, a lot of pace here for head coach Alan Marcina. Chris, you see Nathan, you see Ollie Wright, he's got Marcus Epps, Jose Gallegos as well, who he knows how to score against the black and yellow.
Yeah, really excited to watch Gallegos play again tonight. I really enjoy watching him play. He's just a bundle of energy, so hard to knock off the ball, the youngster. That's why he's getting so many looks from abroad as well.
This is round 4 between these two teams as we have a look here at the Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game for New Mexico: create chances with possession, be compact in the back, and find line-breaking chances from the midfield to the forward line. The Ben Sherman injury report here is pretty crowded for New Mexico. Hamilton, Swartz, Sandoval, Moreno added to that, as well as David Najum. More on that momentarily, as we are expecting about 5,000 plus here tonight at the Lab. This is the second to last home game for New Mexico this season, and we are underway. Ryden tries to find Daniel Bruce with the long ball off the bat, and that one immediately goes out, and it's the former University of New Mexico soccer player, Sam Gleedle, to take the first throw-in. Bruce comes in trying to win that back there. Gallegos got involved a little bit, and it's the Englishman, Daniel Bruce, that's been called for the foul. You can hear the curse in full voice, Chris. I know a lot of the Curse members made the trip out on Sunday to San Diego, New Mexico, drawing with Loyal. There was over 120 New Mexico United supporters out there, and apparently they didn't lose their voice.
Apparently not, right? Yeah, we could hear the clear as day through the mics there. I'm sure it came through on the broadcast, but yeah, I mean, who was going to turn down a trip? Was that your way of rubbing it in there, that you got to go to San Diego and I didn't? Is that what you were getting at there?
I'm not saying, I'm just saying, is this free kick lofted in the box, the initial header won by New Mexico. Danger is dealt with momentarily. Here's the playmaker, Marcus Epps, fires across in, and the header just goes over the bar. Yeah, you know, I will say San Diego in October is not a bad away day.
I can imagine. But yeah, well, tell you what, absolutely beautiful night here in the land of enchantment as well, right? Perfect for soccer. You can see the smoke bomb has already gone off in the Curse, and it's not really going anywhere. Cardone might have a little issue with his vision if it keeps going the way it is.
In the midfield there, that was Courtney Ford. So we have a stoppage here from our official, and it looks like going over to have a word. One of the San Antonio players.
He's just having a word there. He thinks that maybe Courtney Ford just went over the top of the ball a little bit there, a little over eager to start the game, so he's just trying to keep a lid on things early on here.
Here comes Bruce. The Englishman tries to play the cross in. He finds Ilic. Here's the Serbian, Ilija Ilic. 94th minute equalizer on the weekend as this cross goes to the back post, and it falls for Ilic, who takes one, blasts that one over the crossbar. You see the purple smoke. That one being released there by the Curse, and Cardone having a word with our official. Now, the reason for the purple smoke is that New Mexico United recognizing is Domestic Violence Month, so bringing awareness to that in partnership with the Domestic Violence Resource Center here in Albuquerque.
They might have to wait a second. Like I say, it's just such a calm night here in Albuquerque. It's just not moving anywhere. It's just sitting right in there, and I'm wondering if Cardone just mentioned to the referee that he was having an issue picking up the ball there right before Ilic took a strike there. It looks like they're just going to give it a minute to try and clear out. It actually, for the viewers at home, it actually looks worse on the TV screen than what it does actually from our vantage point up here, at least, right?
Right, absolutely. Still, Cardone in no rush to get underway with this. Is the veteran Matthew Cardone. He went to play it short there to Varela. The official's going to make him retake it. So it seems our smoke issue has been resolved as Connor Maloney plays one long. The header there won by Kalen Ryden. So an unusual change here momentarily for New Mexico as Nathan goes to ground, wins the foul, and we have our Fiesta Auto Group free kick coming up here.
I think Nathan was selling there, and the referee bought a little one there because he was running down a cul-de-sac, didn't really have a whole lot of options. Tenari was matching him stride for stride there. Did he really? I guess he did have a little shove. I stand corrected there, so it was at the other end of the field from us. But yeah, he did have a little shove. That's a little naive there, unfortunately. So early danger for New Mexico United to deal with here.
Tonight's replays are brought to you by TLC Plumbing. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to home and business service needs. So standing over this one, this is Ollie Wright. Ollie Wright gives the signal. Plays it in, back post, and winning the header there looked to have been Austin Yearwood, but a foul is going to be called in New Mexico. Have the free kick here.
Another push in the back there. You can see Austin Yearwood just got a little shove in the back. So, I mean, you know, the referee's been consistent through that. Any kind of push and things like that, he's calling it. So players definitely know where they stand early on here.
Here's Daniel Bruce. Tries to work his way around the defender. Unsuccessful. That one just blasted away there by Varela. It's our official Michael Radchuk tonight. The header. And now cross goes into the box, and it's cleared away at the back post by Maloney. New Mexico getting forward a little bit here.
Yeah, that was a great early ball by Bruce there. Just popped it through the legs of the defender, which maybe caught some of the attackers off guard. New Mexico United, 2 players making a run to the front post. No one making the trail and run to the penalty spot. Or else there could have been a fairly easy chance for them there. Looks like San Antonio setting up as we expected. 3 centre-backs, you know, that becomes a back 5 out of possession. Narrow of Gallegos and Epps in behind the 2 forwards, so they don't play like it's standard 3-5-2. They really do have Gallegos and Epps really close to the centre forwards there, and playing quite narrow. We were laughing about the New Mexico United graphics, saying there's no way Ryden was going to play left centre-back and Tete centre-back, and yeah, and there they are. That's exactly the way they set up. We thought maybe the New Mexico United social media team were having a laugh with us there, but that is exactly how they've set up to start off with you.
Yeah, and you know, we know that Rashid Tete is capable of playing as that main cog there in the back 3, as New Mexico momentarily had possession. Now San Antonio looking to break, but there's Kalen Ryden coming in to clear it away. Just had a look at the 2 head coaches, Troy Lassane and Alan Marcina. So while San Antonio is having a better season points-wise, Chris, they're sitting at 48 points coming into this game. New Mexico at 40 for both of these Mountain Division opponents. New Mexico have won 2 out of the 3 matchups so far.
Yeah, and the last game was the September 25th, I believe, was the first time that the away team had come out victors with the 1-0 win. Chris Wehan in the 84th minute, if my memory serves me right. And that was also the first time that the away team had actually scored in normal time. The only other time the away team had scored was the infamous playoff goal where did it or did it not come off Chris Wehan's arm before he smashed it into the back of the net.
Ryden tried to play that one through. It's picked off by Gallegos. Gallegos plays the cross in, and it gets by his teammates' back heel flick there for Gleedle. New Mexico with some defending to do, and they're able to get the ball out of the danger zone. But San Antonio looked like they had something cooking up there. And now a foul called in the midfield, and we're going to see a yellow card issued. Not sure. So it looks like it's going to be against PC, and he's going to pick up that yellow card here in the 9th minute.
That's really early for that, but my first reaction when it happened in real time was that it seemed really high, and especially Tenari's reaction. Kind of hard to tell from where we are in terms of distance there, but yeah, again, my first reaction was that he came up high and maybe caught him around his knee or his quad even.
That yellow card brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team. Roadrunner Law Firm, New Mexico. Here on the break, lane chase to that one is Wehan. Going to ground was Maloney and, or excuse me, not Maloney, that's PC going to ground, and he's going to win the foul. PC goes into the book there, the Brazilian out of Sao Paulo, 27 years old. As Ford takes this free kick and plays it long. Rivas gets that one off the foot of Gallegos. Illich is barreled into from behind from Varela and wins the free kick.
Really well done there by Illich. It's really all he could do. There wasn't many guys running around him there.
This one played long. Here's Suggs, the captain, Josh Suggs, looking to play it long for Illich. Bruce connects and just unable to volley that one home. Or redirect it back for a cross, but New Mexico showing some signs of life getting forward here early.
Yeah, and like I say, Illich did really well, used his experience there, felt the pressure from the defender and couldn't really do a whole lot else other than go down, so, you know, managed to buy one for the team there, and then the nice quick free kick there out to Suggs. Suggs cuts in on his less favoured right foot, but clips, maybe overhits it a little bit to Bruce, and Bruce does well just to get anything on it, really.
Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. As going to ground there was Gallegos. New Mexico deal with that. Tenari now looking to break. Select, the official ball supplier of the USL Championship, many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Here comes Chris Weehan. Still Weehan. Ricochets, and it's tapped home. 2 goals in back-to-back games for Ilija Ilić. The Serbian puts New Mexico on top here in the 12th minute.
Ilija Ilić doing exactly what he is paid to do the last 2 games here. Just finds himself in the right area there. He was just sniffing around going, where might the ball pop out? Great drive and run by Chris Weehan, and once he's at full speed, no one can really touch him. And he just drives at the back line of San Antonio there. And, you know, Sergio Rivas, special mention for him, doesn't touch the ball but gets a little assist for his movement, just catches the eye of the defender, creates that extra space for Weehan to get his shot off as well. Decent save by Cardone, but again, Ilić just stays alive. You can see him just snooping around the back post there. Just pops it, and that's the sign of a good forward, where the ball just finds you in the 6-yard box.
Right, and that was a great save by Cardone. The one-handed save going back across the face of goal. But as you mentioned, a good striker always knows where to position himself.
Exactly, yeah. You know, like really, really expensive strikers make their living in areas like that. And like you say about Cardone, like, there's not much more he could have done there. I mean, obviously, he would love to have got it a little further away from goal, but his weight was going to his right and quickly shifted back to the left. So that's really all he could do there. So huge early goal for New Mexico United there.
And that goal was scored by Ilija Ilić. Goals are brought to you by T-Mobile. T-Mobile has Ilija Ilić covered. So 12 minutes in between goals for the Serbian Ilija Ilić. He scored with the last kick of the game on Sunday out in San Diego in Torero Stadium against Loyal, and finding the back of the net here in the 12th minute in a must-win game. That's big time.
I mean, and look at the injury list you showed earlier on. Like, Ilija Ilić there is answering maybe some of his critics that he's had during the season. You know, it's not been the season that he probably would have wanted, or New Mexico United for that matter. But at this time of the season, finding that vein of form, if he can carry this on into the last few games, then this could be huge for the team.
I mean, you know, it's one of those sports cliches, getting hot at the right time, right? You don't want to peak too early in the season. You really want to find your groove going down the stretch, carry that into the playoffs. And New Mexico, they've picked up 6 points in their previous 5 matches. They've won 1, they've dropped a couple, they've drew a couple. So they're really going to need to catch fire at the right time going down the stretch here if they're really going to want to make these playoffs.
100%. And Ilić specifically, you know, he's not had many starts. He's not had a whole lot of game time. So the fact that, you know, the situation injury-wise that New Mexico United find themselves in, and he really is if they want to play with a target forward, he is the guy that's left. And for him to be able to say, yeah, I've got this, like, that's huge for the confidence of the team right now.
So for Ilija Ilić, the Belgrade Serbian native, this is his 20th appearance, just his 5th start on the season for Troy Lesane. That is his 3rd goal on the year as well. He scored his first goal, you'll remember, is in stoppage time here at the Lab in July against Switchbacks. And then, as we mentioned, 2 goals over the past 2 games for Ilić. netting in the 94th minute as that pass is cut out by Suggs, and then here tonight in the 12th. Yearwood plays that back to Alex Tambakis, and looking to find Daniel Bruce there with the long ball, but it finds its way back to Cardoni instead. Ford pings this one forward, and it's just nudged on by Kalen Ryden back to Alex Tambakis.
This is where, depending on which side of the fence you are tonight, you either hope that this stat maintains or it definitely doesn't, which is, you know, the team that loses this matchup tends not to score.
I'm going to assume you're reading off of my notes here, as I had that written down as well.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, that is a good point. The 3 matches so far this season, the first one we had here, Chris, and that was on June 16th, New Mexico winning 2-0 in that one. That was the infamous Austin Yearwood banger with the shrug, the MJ shrug. And it was right here on this goal as well. Yearwood, is he looking to repeat? Goes for the strike, but it's blocked. And then the next 2 games in this series were both played in San Antonio at Toyota Field. The first on July 21st. That game was on ESPN2. We saw a national TV debut for Christian Nava. That was his second appearance for New Mexico, but it was San Antonio winning 3-0. Nathan with a brace. Gallegos tacking on the 93rd minute insurance goal. And then the most recent game, as we mentioned earlier, it was Chris Wehan in the 84th minute on September 25th. Drawing the final blood for New Mexico. Asking for the handball. They're going to get it. Maloney is trying to make his case. Our official Michael Radchuk not having any of it. And this is a very dangerous spot here for this Fiesta Auto Group free kick.
All I'm saying is good research is good research. I promise I wasn't peeking at your notes, mate.
For what it's worth, all the notes that I make, I give to you anyway, so you see Suggs, Chris Wehan, both standing over this one. As you can see, he's having a final word. Wehan gives the signal. Chris Wehan strikes, and it's headed away. And San Antonio able to deal with it there on the second ball.
Felt that very nearly snuck through there. Epps did really well to just get a touch on that and whack it away, because there were 2 New Mexico United guys lining up waiting for it.
Tenari kept that one alive, played the cross in, but San Antonio able to deal with it. And there's Tenari again. I think the word that we use oftentimes to describe Andrew Tenari is tenacious, and he's showing you exactly why right there.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're New Mexico United, you're delighted that Epps is doing most of his work in his own 18-yard box, or in and around his own 18-yard box like he is right now.
Making the run there was right, but Gallegos decides to go near side here to Maloney. Gallegos, and winning the challenge is Kalen Ryden. Ryden dubbed the best center back in the league by his head coach, Troy Lesane. Ryden making his 27th appearance here this evening, 26th start on the season. He leads the team in clearances, blocks, and aerial duels won.
I tell you what a tackle by Kalen Ryden that was there. Not only did he win the ball, but he somehow managed to win the throw-in as well. And he absolutely let Gallegos know that he wasn't going to stand for it tonight.
Deplan plays that one back. Here's Ford. Varela, that one gets away from him. Wehan just giving chase. The long ball tried to be played forward to Maloney, but it was mishit by about 10 yards. That's the captain, Josh Suggs from Las Cruces, New Mexico. It is time now for the magic minute here at the lab. As Illich goes to ground, wins the free kick.
San Antonio are getting really, really frustrated early on here. There was the yellow card early on, and now every single decision. New Mexico United are actually just using their experience there. Illich again, he just felt the pressure coming, went down. You know, there was contact. Was there enough to put him down the way it did? Maybe not, but he was selling again and used all his experience. And again, San Antonio, you can just see they're throwing their arms up in the air. They're just not enjoying it right now.
There's a bad ball played into the midfield there by Guzman, but Tete is there to head that through ball away. Bruce looking to link up with Weehan, gets it right back. Quick little give and go, but defended very well there by Duplan to thwart the attack. Guzman goes to ground. Epps not going to be called for the foul. Things getting a little sloppy here over the last couple of possessions, and ultimately it looks like Tenari called for the foul.
Tete got a yellow card
And
there, I think.
Yeah, it looked like Tete was issued a yellow. So a 21st minute yellow card for the Ghanaian Rashid Tete. And that's going to make things interesting here for New Mexico going down the stretch.
See, it was clumsy by Tete. I'm not sure it was a yellow card. I mean, yeah, he definitely, it was a foul. There's no denying it was a foul. It's almost like he wanted to slide, but his studs kind of got caught in the turf a little bit. So it was awkward for sure. But yeah, that's a really soft yellow card, I feel there.
That yellow card brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. So Alex Tambakis comes in with 74 saves on this season. That's good enough for 7th overall in USL Championship. He's faced 106 shots. Save percentage of 69.8%, nearly 70%. He's got 7 clean sheets to his name as well, which is tied for 7th. The Athenian goalkeeper. Played back to Cardoni. And now Tete is going to go to ground. Nathan tried to help him back up, but Tete took his time, and he looks to be just fine as we're right back underway.
Do you think there's something riding on this game tonight? There's tackles flying in, the ref's whistle can be heard 15 miles away. It's yeah, it's a very word, feisty, I guess, to say to start the game here. 2 yellow cards in the first 20 minutes.
And as you're saying that, the slide challenge from Suggs, and now called for the foul. That's going to be Ford. So another Fiesta Auto Group free kick here for New Mexico, taken quickly. Here's Illich. Turn it over to Weehan now. Yearwood. It's Daniel Bruce out of Warrington, England. Overlapping run from Yearwood. Plays it across the box, but they're going to say it went out for a goal kick.
I think Liedl got away with one there as well. He came flying into the tackle, and Yearwood beat him to the ball, got the delivery, and obviously it went out for a goal kick, but Bruce was definitely asking a question of the assistant referee on the far side there.
Long ball finds Nathan momentarily. New Mexico back in possession. Illich tries to scoop it forward for Weehan. Weehan, the SoCal native, was able to spend a little bit of extra time down in California after that game on Sunday. That was nice and refreshing for him and the family. Here's Bruce, goes outside of the boot with the cross. He'll connect with Suggs here as he chases it down. Rivas, and that one just goes wide.
New Mexico United doing a really good job of at least making the ball go dead, because I tell you what, San Antonio, two forwards Nathan and Wright are just staying very high, and a lot of the time they are 2-on-2 with Tete and Ryden. Gallegos and Epps are not too far away. There's been a couple of times where San Antonio have been 4-on-4, borderline 4-on-3 against the back three of New Mexico United. So look for those moments in transition. If they get the ball forward quickly and New Mexico United have bombed guys forward, it could be danger for New Mexico.
Here's Guzman. Playing that back to Ryden, who connects with the opposite center back, Varela. So, Chris, we've been talking a lot about the standings tonight and how big this game is, not just for New Mexico, but for San Antonio as well, as there a big-time collision in the midfield, and a yellow card has been issued. And that one's going to be given to Nathan here in the 26th minute. Looked to have just clattered into Juan Pablo Guzman.
The stall has been set as well, right? The referee, where he said, like, I mean, that's a pretty, again, it's just early. It's early for 3 yellow cards. What's the over-under on this finishing 11 versus 11 right now?
Nathan, the 22-year-old. This is Illich. Decides to hang on to it. Now Bruce. Ilya Illich. Finds Tenari. Tenari goes to ground just at the corner of the 18. Here's Bruce. Couple step overs. Bruce crosses in. Headed away initially by Ford, but it falls to Illich. Tries to one-time it. Nathan, who just went into the book, trying to win the throw-in. Ball stays alive. And San Antonio are awarded the throw-in over on the far side.
Right, we can hear what the natives think of that one. We can see everyone else in the press box throws their arms up as well.
Illich tried to backheel flick that, and now it's played over to Maloney. Here comes Maloney on the near side. Having a run, he's got Wright and Gallegos in front of him. The challenge from Suggs, and the veteran doing some crafty, savvy defensive work there. But San Antonio come back in possession. Epps. He's dispossessed by Ryden. Ryden has that clearance blocked by Nathan. And ultimately, it's going to be a goal kick, and a yellow card has been shown to Jose Gallegos. That is the 3rd yellow card been issued to San Antonio, the 4th overall here in this match.
You see, it's the youngsters here are just really struggling to keep a lid on it. They feel like every decision is going against them right now. So clearly he just said something, and the referee clearly didn't agree with it, obviously. But New Mexico United living dangerously there. Josh Suggs, he said he was using all his experience. He had 3 San Antonio guys he was dealing with. He still managed to come out with the ball, given away by Sergio Rivas, had to defend again. Kalen Ryden, you can see he was waiting to try and find the right pass. There's times where you just need to clear it, and that was probably one of them. And it got charged down by Nathan, and you know, he did enough, the veteran defender, Kalen Ryden, to win the goal kick. But again, just living a little dangerously back there.
Here's Epps. Finds Gallegos. Here's the playmaker, Jose Gallegos. Goes wide and puts a shot. And it just goes wide as Tambakis fully extended for that one.
Wow. That is why that kid is so dangerous. Gallegos, he had 3 New Mexico United defenders around him. Tenari nipping at his heels there, and he still manages to create that space just to get the shot off. And you could see by Tambakis' reaction, he wasn't sure that he completely had it covered there.
Gallegos in 2020 was a finalist for the USL Championship Young Player of the Year. How about this? In March of 2021, Gallegos actually spent a couple of weeks training with a club by the name of Bayern Munich, Chris. some pretty good company to keep there.
So yeah, he's been getting looks, and you can see why. He's very, very explosive, and he's not the tallest guy in the world, but he's so hard to get off the ball. He's got such a low center of gravity there, and 3 New Mexico United defenders could not get him off the ball.
This is Ollie Wright, the London, England native. Trying to play that cross in. Ford goes to ground, and the penalty kick has been awarded to San Antonio, and Suggs has been shown yellow as well. So that yellow card brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. If you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. So we have another look here at the TLC replay. A little unclear there from that angle. Let's see if we can get a better look here from this one. Suggs looks to maybe have his right arm wrapped around the shoulder of Ford, as we'll see here once again.
I'm sorry, but there's not a chance in the world. I'll say it. I just don't see how Suggs going for the ball. That is, but you can tell by the San Antonio reaction as well. How many of the San Antonio players appealed for a PK right there? Not one. So that is an interesting call.
So this is Nathan at this spot. He's got 10 goals on this season. Tambakis between the sticks. There's Nathan with the right foot, tucks it away, and we're tied up here at 1 apiece in the 32nd minute. Nathan with his 11th goal of the campaign.
Yeah, that is a strange one. No, New Mexico United can't let that take the win. It's been a really good start to the game for New Mexico United there. And San Antonio really have been feeding on scraps. And to be fair, I mean, you know, that was very, very scrappy PK to give up. What a PK though, a lot of pressure. There was a lot of time to wait and think about it because of the controversy in it as well. Tambakis guessed the right way too, but puts it enough in the corner. Great PK by Nathan.
Well, and that goal right there has huge implications on these standings, with New Mexico tied in the standings with Austin coming into this game. Both teams level on 40 points. And now we're going to see a yellow card issued to Austin Yearwood.
This has to be a record.
So a yellow card to Yearwood here in the 33rd minute. That is by my count, I might be incorrect, but I've got 6 yellow cards by my count here as we have another look. See what might have happened. Yearwood, I mean, he does kick it. It does go off the head of Jose Gallegos, and now they're going to be calling out the trainer to have a look at him. I mean, I think when Yearwood hits that, I think he's really intending to hit him in the head.
I think he's just trying to clear the ball.
And that is the 20-year-old Jose Gallegos out of San Antonio, Texas, on the ground. And Yearwood, the third United player in the book here in the first 33 minutes. So we'll hope Jose Gallegos is okay, but while we've got a second, we'd like to remind you that with sights set on home field advantage, El Paso Locomotive welcome an OKC Energy side looking to remain in the playoff hunt. It's El Paso and OKC this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. And also, fans, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. What do you think is going through his head right now, Chris, if you're Troy Lesane?
I'm going to say he's seeing red, but it's probably yellow, isn't it? I mean, honestly, I'm actually surprised he didn't pull his guys over there and just try and get a lid on this, because both coaching staff clearly that this is how the game is going to go. To have this many yellow cards, there is a danger that a yellow card's going to come out before the referee realizes it's someone who's already got one, and he has to make a decision.
And off the free kick, San Antonio able to equalize. It's Varela tacking on this second. That is their second goal in the last 3 minutes, and San Antonio have shocked the lab.
You see, I think I mentioned it right after the PK that New Mexico United couldn't let that goal kind of derail them, and the stoppage immediately following that, it's just a little sluggish there. Great ball in, and Tambakis, you can see, just misreads the flight because he's anticipating the touch right there that doesn't come. It just hits off him. Actually, to be fair, Tambakis, that's a great save. I think Varela does get a touch. It's a great save off his chest. Couldn't really do much else. Keeps it out the net. And Varela's just quickest to react to the rebound. Well, Tambakis a little unlucky there, but New Mexico United will be disappointed. They were a little flat, a little sluggish to react to the first ball there.
Well, and talk about a turn of events. Illich found the back of the net in the 12th minute for the black and yellow. That saw them take the lead. But here, just over the last 2 minutes, Nathan converting from the spot in the 32nd. And there, as you just saw, Varela, the center back in the 35th minute, has turned this game, and not just this game, but the playoff race on its head.
Yeah, I believe right before the PK you were going to start mentioning about maybe, you know, that everyone's keeping half an eye on the El Paso Locomotive against Austin Bold's match. End of the day, if you're New Mexico United, you have to take care of your own business, and right now that's not obviously what is happening right now. And then, you know, then worry. Then at least the destiny's in their own hands. Scores stay like this, then they're going to need some help from somewhere.
So we have a look over at that other matchup in the Mountain Division. We see Aaron Gomez has scored for El Paso, putting them up. It's 1-0 at the last check in the 32nd minute, so that's good at least if you're New Mexico. For now, Austin Bold losing to El Paso, but as Chris alluded to, you've got to take care of your own business here, and the black and yellow with some work to do. And Ryden now has been called for the foul, and you can tell the frustration boiling over from the pitch, also into the stands. And now we're going to see the trainer come out once again for San Antonio. And we're going to see another yellow card.
I'm literally gobsmacked. It's like every time there's a tackle right now. This is yeah, wow.
So that is 4 out of the 5 defenders for New Mexico on yellow cards. The only one that's not is Daniel Bruce. So Suggs, Yearwood, Ryden, Tete, all in the book as of right now. All of those yellow cards presented by Roadrunner Law Firm.
They are getting their money's worth tonight for sure.
I will say so. And that's not even to mention the 3 that have been issued to the visitors. That's Nathan being checked out. 22-year-old. He's on loan from Coritiba. So he came through the youth ranks at. He was called up to the senior side from the U19s in May of 2018, and he made his pro debut a month later on June 5th of 2018. Came on as a second-half sub in a 1-0 win against CRB. That's the second division in Brazil. In case you're wondering, is this one lofted in? Header from Ford, and Tambakis out to grab that one just in front of Nathan. And now you can see a bit of an acting job back there as the official tells the San Antonio player to get up. I can't tell exactly who's down back there, but it looks like our officials saw exactly what happened, and a yellow is going to be issued for simulation. He's going to bring out the physio once again.
Let's talk about soccer for a second then. So another free kick from not too dissimilar place where San Antonio got their second goal. And having another look here at this. Oh my goodness.
And the 5,000 people here at the lab just saw what you saw on your screen.
He's not
That's why they
covered himself in glory there, has he really? Let's be fair, Varela. That's not it's not the best. It's not the kind of thing you want shown on a massive big screen in front of 5,000 people, is it? Unfortunately. At least he's sticking to his guns. He stayed down, I guess. So at least there's that. But yeah, that ball. And I tell you what, New Mexico United, the thing to be worried about, if I was coach the same right now, I'd be telling them San Antonio will get the first contact. We got it on the one on the goal. It's Varela got first contact, and then he got the second one as well. First contact at the back post there from San Antonio, and Courtney Ford was following up. New Mexico United have to do a better job of getting that first contact on the ball.
So Varela is the second goal scorer to go in the book for San Antonio here today. I don't see a scenario where this match ends 11 v 11. There are 8 yellow cards on that field right now. We are 41 minutes in.
Can't wait to see the injury time. We're going to be here till tomorrow.
Yeah, man, these teams might have to push back their weekend games.
Suggs using his experience there. He put it out, and Sergio Rivas is clearly not happy about it. But Suggs trying to take the sting out of the game maybe a little bit there.
It'll be interesting to see the way that these next 3.5 minutes and change play out here. 42nd minute, Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here at the lab. Playoff pushes on for San Antonio and New Mexico. The visitors have scored twice in the last 10 minutes here to take the air out of this game, as the foul is called there by our official Michael Radchuk. We're back underway. But again, New Mexico, they started out on top. With Austin losing to El Paso, they were sitting firmly in playoff position, but with these 2 goals they've conceded, they are back level with Austin Bold on points once again. And San Antonio in a playoff push of their own. They're looking to lock up second place here in the Mountain Division. Switchbacks are 3 points. Well, they're on 48 points, but they have a game in hand. So once this game ends, San Antonio will be level on games played with Switchbacks, fighting for that second spot as well. Here's Rivas. It's picked up by Ford. Rivas tried to get through. Here comes Epps. Epps looking to play the through ball for Nathan. Ryden rarely gets beat on those types of balls and staying true to his reputation there.
That was a great ball by Epps, and there was a split second there where Ryden was in real trouble, but his pace got him out of trouble there. Referee's got a decision to make here. Like every tackle, I'm just holding my breath because I can't keep up. I'm glad you're writing it down. I can't keep up with who's got a yellow card. Every time there's a tackle, I'm just waiting for it to be one of the players who's already got a yellow. And you know, the question is, how is that different to some of the others? Unfortunately,
PC does have a yellow. I didn't see who exactly he was talking to, but Duplan is now on the ground, and Duplan now is in need of some medical attention. So that is the athletic trainer, Jesse Lawrence. We ought to check Jesse Lawrence's heat map here tonight.
I was going to say, he needs a pay raise tonight. Is he on appearance bonus?
So while we've got a second, the USL's elite pre-professional platform, the USL Academy, allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent and helping players transition to their USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com. 7 stoppage time minutes is what we're hearing. Those stoppage time minutes presented by New Mexico and Pinon Coffee. Great coffee, Chris, is a matter of opinion. And there, now some extracurriculars going on. We'll leave it to our official to sort this out. As Maloney went to ground. This is getting a little out of hand here. So for now, we have 7 stoppage time minutes. We'll see what that actually ends with. So it looks like we're good to go off the restart. That was the Fiesta Auto Group free kick. Here's Bruce. High ball played forward. PC pokes that one away from Illich. Here's Wright. Finds Nathan. And Nathan's shot is off frame. Ollie Wright, I mentioned, out of London, England. Spent some time in the academy systems of Fulham and Brentford. Brentford Bees in the Premier League for the first time this season.
Fun to watch.
And Fulham have been in and out of the Prem over the last several years. Not a
more out than in.
Yeah, more out than in, but you know, not a
like I can talk.
Not a bad couple of systems to come through here. That is right. The Englishman Ollie Wright lays it off. Your compatriot Chris. Maloney. That one dealt with by Tete.
Really good forward play by Ollie right there. Just held the ball up. Little interchange on the right with Maloney there. Decent ball in. Had to be dealt with by Tete.
This is a Bank of America corner kick. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. I might be incorrect. Is this the first corner that we've seen tonight? Second corner that we've seen all night long is that one headed away by New Mexico. Diagonal ball looking for Ollie Wright here on the near side, and it's just out of reach.
If you're a New Mexico United player, fan, probably the technical staff as well, that goal by Illich seems like a long time ago now. Seems like a lifetime ago with everything that's gone on since, not just the goals.
Illich scoring in the 12th minute. We're now in the 48th minute. We were allotted 7 stoppage time minutes. However, another stoppage occurred at the beginning of stoppage time. So we'll see if there's some additional added on to that. But as for now, it's the visitors, San Antonio FC, on top. A bad giveaway there by Rivas. Here comes Gallegos. It's the 20-year-old. Lays it off. And that ball finds the side netting.
Ollie Wright went for goal there, and he had a guy at the back post. I think it was Nathan sneaking around the back post there, but a really, really careless giveaway by Sergio Rivas in the midfield there. Square pass, just picked off. And to be fair, he's actually done a couple of those, but they've been in less dangerous areas. So I think Sergio Rivas is letting the frustration and everything like that, and the stop-start nature of the game, that's getting to him a little more than others right now.
Well, Massane does have some options if he wants to turn to his bench. We see Chelo Martinez, Christian Nava, 2 attacking options, with Martinez actually notching the assist on Illich's late equalizer just a couple of days ago in San Diego.
In a game like this, it's probably not a bad idea to have a set-piece specialist on the field.
So we see another set piece coming up. It's another Fiesta Auto Group free kick for New Mexico. Standing over it is Chris Wehan. 10 goals to his name this season. He's got 6 of them in black and yellow. He's only played about a third of the season for New Mexico as he sticks a boot through that one and goes right into the waiting arms of Cardoni.
But if you're New Mexico United, that is a name that has not been said enough by you, right? That Chris Wehan, it was his run, it was his shot that was parried that led to the goal. Since then, he's been pretty quiet, especially in the attacking third. He's had to do most of his work in and around the halfway line in the defensive half. If you're New Mexico United, you need to find a way to get him higher up the field with the ball at his feet.
Suggs plays that one forward, looking for Wehan. New Mexico might be onto something here. This is Illich. He's got options. Illich keeps it himself. Cardoni picks it up on the second go-around. And then Cardoni goes to ground. And poor Andrew Tenari, he's just getting bumped every which way down there.
I think both those guys knew exactly what they were doing. But I tell you what, that was less than convincing handling by Cardoni there, so that'll give New Mexico United a little glimmer of hope there that maybe he's a little unsure with his handling tonight.
So we are about 5.5 of the 7 minutes gone by here in the first half. Sam Gleadle, college teammates with Chris Wehan, just across the street from us here at Isotopes Park. Yearwood. Here's Illich, turns. Yearwood now. Here comes Yearwood. Finds Rivas. Here's Sergio Rivas. Backheel lays it off for Austin Yearwood, who did not make the run, and now San Antonio able to counter. Here's Gallegos. Plays it forward, it's right. He's got Epps making the run. Plays the through ball there for Epps, and it was Rashid Tete coming in to deal with the danger.
Really good defending there by Rashid Tete. Just matched Epps' run where stride for stride, but that was, we talked about that, it seems like a lifetime ago as well, like 20 minutes ago, where I said that New Mexico United, when they get players forward, Austin Yearwood committed to the attack and nearly got caught on the break.
So that is the end of the first half. We saw 3 goals. We saw 8 yellow cards, Chris. A ton of shifts in momentum. What did you make of that first 45?
Yeah, I mean, it's been ugly. I mean, I don't think despite the scoreline, 2-1 there, but yeah, it's just been a really, really ugly game of soccer, unfortunately.
And these are your 3 goals. The first by Ilya Illich in the 12th minute. That the penalty from Nathan in the 32nd minute. And then finally, right here is Varela tapping home off the set piece in the 35th minute. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We've reached halftime, presented by Smith's, fresh for everyone.
What are you doing?
Trying to make this thing work.
It works! Yeah, let's go!
years, BIOS has been proudly serving New Mexico. We love being a part of this community and the New Mexico United family, and helping everyone from homeowners to home builders create a space that's both beautiful and practical. Shopping local is about more than getting a great deal. It's about supporting your community, your neighbors, your friends. Visit BIOS in Albuquerque and see how shopping local supports your New Mexico community.
It is halftime here at the lab between New Mexico and San Antonio. The visitors on top 2-1. My name is Tyler Ortega. Chris Hurst alongside me here in the booth. It's halftime presented by Smith's. Fresh for everyone. We're going to look here right away at the standings, as these are very important here tonight, presented by Duke City Cares, your medical family. You see El Paso on top of the division. This is how things looked coming into tonight. So as we mentioned, San Antonio in the battle for second place with Switchbacks here tonight, and New Mexico fighting to keep their season alive here, sitting in the 4th spot. So, Chris, I hate to do this, but if the playoffs, if the season ended today, New Mexico would be in the playoffs, but they're going to need to at least get a point tonight. Austin Bold in action against Locomotive.
And it does look like that's going New Mexico United's way right now, with Austin Bold behind to El Paso Locomotive.
These are some news and notes from around the league. You can see the USL and Women's in Soccer launched the Pitch It contest, giving entrepreneurs the opportunity to pitch business ideas to sports professionals. Sounds like some really cool episode of Shark Tank in that case. And the USL statement regarding Felipe Hernandez, with the announcement of the suspension of Hernandez, the USL announces they will ban him from all USL competitions. And now the look here from around the league. You see Hartford Athletic ready to take on Charlotte Independence. That one Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Also on Friday night, just after that, Real Monarchs hosting Switchbacks, who Switchbacks looking to lock up that second spot and get the home field playoff game as well. Indy 11 set to host FC Tulsa, and then you see it's a battle between Riverhounds and Battery there on Saturday. The scoreboard here from around the league. This from the weekend, you see a 0-0 draw between Tacoma and Sac Republic. Energy and Birmingham drawing 0-0 as well. New Mexico with the late equalizer out on the West Coast in San Diego. And Galaxy putting up a 5 spot on Locomotive. We're going to step aside, catch our breaths here for just a second, but we'll have more halftime when we return.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
Hey, y'all. Can we change up the chores?
Sorry. It's up to the wheel, man.
Oh, yeah?
Hey! Change the channel back.
Sorry, it's up to the wheel.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Around it comes Fox. Solignat, the backheel in! What a goal!
Luna is shot into the back goal.
Kuramoto has won it for OKC Energy FC. Oh, that is a brilliant goal from the substitute.
Today, as you step onto the field, You step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite casino. Best customer service, best entertainment venue, best slot machines and poker room, best variety of table games, best rewards program, and best golf course. Best buffet, favorite nightclub, favorite casino. Albuquerque, you deserve the best. Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary.
In New Mexico, we know true beauty, true adventure, true color, and true culture. Home to the artists, the warriors, and the multi-generational, multiracial, all-inclusive family that we call the United. This is New Mexico United, and New Mexico United is New Mexico True.
Back here at the lab, it is halftime presented by Smith's. Fresh for everyone. Tonight's match is presented by Kairos Power, the future of nuclear energy. Let's go ahead and have a look here at the first half stats, brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. And here, Chris, we see it's been very even so far. You see the same number of shots on target. Possession, however, in favor of New Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the stat that is most important is obviously the one at the very top there with 2-1 there. And it's probably the way that it came about is the most disappointing thing for New Mexico United. One of the more impressive stats is those 4 yellow cards per team in the first half of the soccer game. I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
So let's go ahead and have a look now at the first half highlights presented by TLC. And Chris, there was plenty going on in that first half. Not just on those 3 goals, but we'll start it off here first with the run of Chris Wehan. And you know what Chris Wehan does? If he's not scoring goals, he is creating opportunities for others. That was Ilya Ilic scoring in consecutive games for the first time in a black and yellow shirt.
Yeah, great initial save by Cardone there. You can see a full stretch there, and he's just begging that one of his defenders is reacting to the rebound first, but there's Ilya Ilic just to pop in the rebound.
And now this one coming up for San Antonio. It was Gallegos who just laced one wide. We saw Gallegos all over in that first 45.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, there's been a bunch of chances on the break for San Antonio, and there's the PK. We'd love another look at the PK as well. It was an interesting one where it was a tackle in the box, a genuine attempt to go for the ball, I feel, but a great PK by Nathan there, where he puts it in the bottom corner with a lot of pressure on his shoulders because there was a long wait for him to take it.
That was the 11th goal of the season for Nathan, and this just 3 minutes later from the center back. It was a great save initially from the keeper, Alex Tambakis, but on the follow-up, it was Joaquin Varela tapping home.
What a ball in by Wright as well there. You can see the texture he puts on it, just floats it in there. Varela just runs off the back of his man there, gets first contact. Great save by Tambakis, but reacts quickly to the rebound.
It is a beautiful fall night here at Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park. We're going to step aside for just a couple of minutes. We'll have the second half when we return.
B-Dub's new crispy hand-breaded classic chicken sandwich plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live, non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
This one's for every sports fan who just spent the entire game explaining to someone the entire game. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
It's the red or green event at American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop now for hot buys and cool deals on the largest selection of in-stock furniture in New Mexico. Plus, we guarantee delivery for Thanksgiving. Get entertainment ready with our huge selection of in-stock dining with 5-piece sets starting at just $549 and in-stock sofas starting at just $449. American Home Furniture and Mattress. We guarantee you'll pay less.
We've all been waiting for the great unpause. But what if we took this moment to see our old lives as something new, something bigger than routine, something better than back to normal? Because moving forward, what we used to call just everyday life is what we'll celebrate every day. This will be the greatest comeback. Collect all 6 signature bottles, win all summer. Learn more at ultracomeback.com.
Get your associate's degree in 17 months with C&M Online. A fast degree, no hidden fees, books included, all at an affordable price. All of your courses can be completed online. Take the next step in your career. Get your degree from C&M Online.
We are back here at the lab. Tyler Ortega and Chris Hurst is the second half just moments away from kicking off. It was the visitors scoring 2 consecutive goals in a span of 3 minutes to take the lead here from the black and yellow as New Mexico in the hunt for a playoff spot. They came into this match in 4th overall in the Mountain Division, which is good enough to get them into the postseason, where if everything holds true to where it was coming into this game, New Mexico would be traveling to Phoenix for an opening first-round matchup. You know, and Chris, the way things are looking now, I think if you're New Mexico, you would gladly take that 4 seed in the Mountain.
Oh yeah, you'd absolutely snap your hands off. No problem at all. But where have you heard early round of the playoffs off to Phoenix? It's not the first time that it would have happened, right? Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always been a year where that's been the game that's popped up.
Let's see, it was Sac Republic that eliminated New Mexico in year 1, and then in year 2, it was that late equalizer from Parks in stoppage time, and then overtime and penalty kicks with Ketterer making the big save on Romeo Parks, ironically, down at Southwest University Park in El Paso. But New Mexico, if you recall, did come out with a victory in Phoenix during the Open Cup run in 2019.
Yeah, but like you said, if Coach Lassane was given the choice tonight, he'd absolutely snap your hands off tonight to have things end the way they are right now and take that 4th spot.
Can't look ahead too much as there's still 45 minutes to go here at the lab. And that is the second half kickoff there from Nathan. The leading scorer for San Antonio FC, 11 goals to his name so far this year. That is Andrew Tenari going back the other way for New Mexico. He leads the black and yellow with 7 assists on the season. That's going to be a throw-in for the home side. Right, goes to ground. Yearwood plays on.
Looked like he just had something, maybe a muscle just pinged a little bit there in his left leg. I'm guessing maybe it was his calf that he was feeling, but there was no one around him and he definitely felt something go.
Here's Suggs. Tries to play the crossfield ball here to the near side to Bruce, but picked off. And now San Antonio, this is Nathan. It's the Brazilian, and he has that one defended very well by Kalen Ryden.
Looks like Nathan tried to do a little elastico there. They're going maybe a little Ronaldinho, but completely missed the ball. And Kalen Ryden used all his experience to just shepherd the ball out of play there.
That's Alex Tambakis. You could see the frustration from Tambakis following the penalty kick. He got up immediately, kicks the post that's right next to him. And while he might be one of the most kind and gentlemen off the field, going to ground there is Yearwood, and that's going to be a booking for Wright. Wright with the yellow card here in the 47th minute.
That's definitely a yellow card. That was very cynical by Wright there, just tripped him up. That's that's no arguments there whatsoever. He knew exactly what he was doing.
The 9th yellow card that has been issued here tonight. 5 for San Antonio, 4 for New Mexico. So in case you need a refresher, Varela, PC, Wright, Nathan, and Gallegos all on yellows for San Antonio. For New Mexico, just look across the back line. Suggs, Yearwood, Ryden, and Tete.
It's pretty interesting. It's a lot of the defenders for New Mexico United and a lot of the attackers for San Antonio. Yeah. Kicking lumps out of each other.
Cardoni plays that one away, and Tete goes up with Nathan for the aerial duel, and so New Mexico is going to get the Fiesta Auto Group free kick. So New Mexico come into this one ahead of RGV on goal difference. Excuse me, ahead of Austin Bold on goal difference, with RGV 2 points back with 38. Here's Ford. Maloney. PC missed all of that one. New Mexico now in possession.
Been a little change in the order at the back for New Mexico United. Keelan Ryden gone back to centre back there. Rashid Tete on the right. Austin Yearwood on the left. Austin Yearwood was mostly on the right side of that back three in the first half.
That is Jose Gallegos, the San Antonio native. Just turned 20 less than a month ago. Back on September 22nd was his 20th birthday. And at it for the past couple of seasons here with San Antonio. Very dynamic playmaker. Is that one taken quickly by Wright. Here's Epps. You can tell this one's been rehearsed. Headed across. However, our official waves it off for a push.
Referee saw a little push off. He just got a little separation there to plan there from I think it was Yearwood at the back post, but yeah, definitely rehearsed. Ollie Wright on the set pieces, he's a danger every time standing over those.
Here's Wright and has it poked away by Austin Yearwood. Yearwood, as we mentioned earlier, has 1 goal to his name this season. That was here in week 9. It was a curler scored from outside of the box. He made the team of the week in week 9. He was also awarded goal of the week as well. And this here is his 29th appearance, his 26th start for the club this year. This ball bouncing around, and ultimately it's Sergio Rivas who has to connect with it twice, but eventually clears the danger. Long ball curled forward for the run of Ollie Wright, and it's New Mexico now. Here's Bruce. Here's Daniel Bruce. Tries to cut it back inside. Bruce eventually fires the cross off, and Illich not great with the first touch. San Antonio looking to counter. This is Nathan. And Nathan tried to put something on goal, but sends it wide.
The game just got very stretched all of a sudden there. Bruce bombing down the left-hand side for New Mexico United does really well, because it looked like he'd overran it. Does really well to cut it back onto his onto his right foot then, popped it to the back post. Ilic had a little more time than what he probably thought and just completely miscontrolled it. Then in a blink of an eye, Nathan's all of a sudden bearing down on the New Mexico United box. It's almost like he just runs out of legs and just pings the ball into the curse.
So this one played back to Kalen Ryden, who just a lapse of concentration, it seemed like, from the Norman, Oklahoma native. Here's Guzman. It's the Colombian. He's 1 yellow away from a suspension, is Juan Guzman. Yearwood now. Yearwood making the run. Plays it down for Suggs. Cuts it across. Here's Josh Suggs. Back for Weehan, and he finds the crossbar. Chris Weehan was looking for his 11th goal of the season, and all of a sudden, San Antonio have the break. Tambakis has to come out, and he makes a huge save. And Tambakis immediately goes to ground, grasping his head. And Tyler Harris, the head athletic trainer for New Mexico, will make his way out onto the pitch.
What a 30 seconds that was there. If it's going to fall to anyone for New Mexico United in the 18-yard box, you want it to fall to Chris Weehan. Does everything right, doesn't snatch at it, tries to go inside of the foot, it just pops up on him a little bit. And then the counter-attack, off the crossbar, the counter-attack. And Tambakis initially, I thought, great save with his hand. It turns out he did actually save it straight with his face. Unfortunately, we haven't seen the replay yet. But did take it, but he made himself big, gets off his line quick. You see straight off his head there. And great save by Tambakis, to be fair. Like I say, he did everything right. He didn't go down too soon, made himself nice and big, made the target small for Nathan to aim at. Really well done by Tambakis there.
So Tambakis came in with 74 saves. I don't know exactly how many he has up until that point, but make that number 75.
And that, I mean, yeah, you can probably say that's probably going to be save of the game right there, and it was, it was with his face. But that's what goalkeepers do, right? Whatever it takes. And he might have just kept New Mexico United in this contest there.
And Tambakis gives the thumbs up. He looks to be okay. His head athletic trainer, Tyler Harris, will make his way off of the pitch. Chance of Tambakis echoing from the curse while he was down. It's nice to see that he's feeling all right as he gives a high five there to Kalen Ryden. And it looks like it's going to be a drop ball here. It is, and it's played back to Alex Tambakis. So underway once again. Guzman.
Wow.
Had to be very tidy with that tackle, and he was. This is Tanari, finds Weehan. Here's Weehan, the OC native. Spreads it down. Here's Suggs, the captain. And if Daniel Bruce was a foot taller, that one went right over his head.
Ilic was lurking just behind the defender there as well. But New Mexico United, they seem to have a little zip about them when they're breaking forward right now. It was Bruce on the left earlier on. Now it's Suggs bombing on the left-hand side. Definitely focusing on this left side right now as well. So, yeah, it seems like they've got a little pep in their step right now.
Here for the throw-in, that's Sam Gleedle. Into Duplan. Nathan goes to ground. Foul is called. Nathan stays down. The Brazilian Nathan stands 5'10".
Coach Lassane getting a yellow card now.
And Troy has just been put into the book. 57th minute booking for Troy Lassane. So again, yellow cards presented by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. Tete. Out of Accra, Ghana is Rashid Tete. Here's Gallegos. Gallegos step over. Sends that one into the supporter section. You know, it's incredible when you look, Chris, and you see some of the countries that are represented here with Colombia. We see Ghana, we see a few Brazilians out there. But then you also see the hometown kids like Jose Gallegos. You see the local guys like Josh Suggs from Las Cruces, as Gallegos does well to work his way out of there. Gallegos still just ran out of touches there, did Gallegos. Tenari now. Comes Tenari. But as I was saying, it's incredible the talent pool that the league has.
Yeah, for sure. And I know there's probably...
There's Wright. Sorry to interrupt there for a second, but ball still loose. And now Wright has been shown a second yellow card, and San Antonio will be down to 10 men for the next 33 minutes.
I was trying to go off your initial reaction. My initial reaction was, I didn't realize Wright was booked already, although I could have probably guessed, but was that he came in with his studs up. And I think Sam Backus, it seemed like it took it in the chest, maybe. That was my initial reaction, was that it was definitely a free kick. See it back here, so just his touch gets away from him a little bit there. Good defender by Tete. I don't know, I think he has every right to go for the ball there. I think he's probably got a case that he could feel a little hard done by. But in a game like this, when the referee's been calling it as tight as he has, I feel like this was probably inevitable, unfortunately.
So some players exchanging words, Epps and Ryden, both having a chat. Again, I'm sure Epps asking for some dinner recommendations.
That's exactly what he's asking for. But what I was saying before about the talent on show, and you were saying about hometown kids, the longer this stays 2-1, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most, that we see a certain Christian Nava step on the field. Something a little different, completely different to what's on the field right now, especially with 11 versus 10 now as well. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see him.
Christian Nava, the 18-year-old out of Albuquerque, is the first New Mexico United Academy player to sign a professional contract. He's also the first Academy player to debut in a USL Championship match for the first team as well. That against Colorado Springs back in July. His second appearance was then against San Antonio. That was in San Antonio on national TV. It was not a great game for New Mexico as it was a 3-0 win for the home side that night. Suggs, as that one immediately headed away by Varela.
So it was an interesting interaction we just saw between Troy Lesane and Wright as he walked off the field there. It was almost apologetic from Coach Lesane, so he's a lot closer than what we are. Maybe he probably thinks the same, that it was a little harsh that he was sent off there, because it was a very, you could see, I believe, I'm no lip reader, but I believe the word sorry came out of his mouth,
By my count, we've seen 11 yellows issued. Obviously, 2 of those resulting in the 1 red card for Ollie Wright, the Englishman. Here's Rivas.
If you're New Mexico United, the talk has to be, do not give the referee a chance to even it up as well. Like, you don't give anyone a decision to make, because we've seen tonight what the decision will be, and they will only have themselves to blame if they put themselves in that position.
Yearwood falls to Suggs. Suggs, cheeky step over. Yearwood plays it in again. Rivas, Tenari now. And that was a case of, I thought you had it there with Rivas and Suggs, and now the foul is going to go against Gallegos. Gallegos has to be careful. He's on a yellow as well.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I was more worried about what he was going to say when he popped up there, because that really was a case of 6 and 2 threes. When the referee blew his whistle, I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. I think both players were having a little pull at each other, and it kind of was more of a clumsy tackle. So I think San Antonio probably feel a little hard done by there again.
Wehan crosses, going back post, was looking for Ryden. Ryden and Cardoni both missed that one, so this will be a goal kick. New Mexico, if you're a New Mexico fan, you'd be pleased to hear that El Paso have now gone up 2-0 on Austin Bold. 65 minutes into that one, but again, New Mexico with some work to do here for themselves. Here's Rivas. Wehan. Back to Rivas, and just a miscommunication there. Epps looks to turn and run. And you can see the sense of urgency that New Mexico are playing with now.
Yeah, definitely. And you can also see what San Antonio are going to do as well. They are literally dropping back. It is no longer a 3 and a 5. It is definitely a 5, which you can't blame them. Going down to 10 men as well. And 4 attackers, have pretty much dropped back as well. Leaving one guy high at any one time. Right now it's Nathan. Gallegos was the one before. I think they're just going to rotate that one spot up top there and literally drop back with the other guys there.
Tenari gets it back. Suggs now. Wehan strikes Woodward for the second time in the second half.
Out of nothing as well. I don't even think the crowd realised to react to it until it hit the crossbar there. No backswing from Chris Wehan, completely caught Cardone off guard as well, and he was rooted to the spot.
Chris Wehan showing how dynamic he can be, and going down, winning the free kick there for New Mexico is Andrew Tenari. And so our official Michael Radchuk getting things sorted out here atop the 18. As you see, tonight's attendance, 5,953. That's the number I was handed anyway. Either way, 5,000, 5,500, 6,000, doesn't matter. It is an incredible display once again here from the black and yellow faithful as Chris Wehan stands over this one.
Looking for third time lucky for Chris Wehan in the second half. We didn't say his name enough in the first half. The one time we did led to a goal. Hit the woodwork twice already in the second half.
New Mexico looking to equalize. This is Wehan, right-footed, bounces around, and Chris Wehan scores off the deflection. New Mexico have tied things up with 25 minutes to go in this one.
All right, come on, mate, you got to help me out. Who did that go off? It's at the far end of the field from where we are. We're all waiting for the replay. That is quite possibly the funniest goal I've ever seen.
I was more entertained with Maloney carrying the ball like a fullback. Like a American football fullback. It looks like it just caught a deflection off the wall. We'll have to see to confirm that. But Wehan, it does. It looks like a double deflection. It looks like it might have caught off a PC. Hard to tell with how hard it was struck. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Chris Wehan in the back of the net here. 66th minute. Game on. Tambakis called upon shortly after. And now the curse chanting, "Yes, we hand." The optimism flowing through the nearly 6,000 here at the lab.
Yeah, and you got to say it's deserved for the second half, even before the red card. New Mexico United definitely have come out the traps a little quicker, a little sharper in the second half here, and they've got their reward there. Yes, a little slice of luck, but you make your own luck, and Wehan's had a couple of sighters already. That maybe that last one especially, we'll probably say that should have been the tying goal. So maybe the one that shouldn't have gone in did go in, but yeah. So I think they made their own luck. Chris Wehan specifically has been a real bright spot in the second half.
So we do see our first REDW substitution for San Antonio. It's Cam Lindley replacing Nathan. That substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. This is Austin Yearwood. Gets it back from Rivas. So it looks to be a little bit of a defensive substitution here for Alan Marcina as he replaces the forward Nathan, who Nathan played up top for most of the night. Now we see a midfielder come in to replace him as Nathan had fallen back to the left side of that midfield once the red card was issued.
Like Nathan was feeling it a little bit when he went off. He kind of, hands on his hit, on his quads there, doubled over, did a lot of running, ran the channels brilliantly for the cause tonight. And now it looks like it's going to be up to Gallegos to do the same.
San Antonio have picked up 8 points in their last 5 games. 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws, excuse me. They're sitting in second place in the Mountain Division, 48 points coming into this one tonight. Tete, the tidy first touch there. Denari over for Suggs now. USL's all-time leader in minutes played, Josh Suggs. Guzman looks to flick one here to the near side, Daniel Bruce. This is Bruce. Cuts it back, Daniel Bruce. Wehan crosses. And this is going to be a throw-in for New Mexico. This is Daniel Bruce to throw it in here. Looks like we are going to see a substitution here for New Mexico. Replacing Daniel Bruce, it's going to be Chelo Martinez. Not surprising considering Bruce got to start, played majority of the match just about 36 hours ago in San Diego.
Yeah, for sure, and I think Daniel Bruce absolutely put a shift in. I was just about to say before, I was really impressed. I think the Bruce of last season would have just flung that ball in early, even though Illich was really struggling to keep to get in the box and get up with play there. And he turned back and recycled the ball. I think he showed a little bit more maturity than what he maybe has in previous years. So he's been getting a lot of minutes recently, and he's earned every one of them.
Daniel Bruce out of Warrington, England. He made his 17th start on this season here tonight. It was his 28th appearance as Gallegos lets a shot rip, but it's blocked by Kalen Ryden. Ryden came in with 18 blocks on this season. That is tops on the team. Here's Wehan now with options, plays it back across for Illich, and that one is just out of reach. Lindley. going to ground there is PC, and that's a yellow card for Juan Pablo Guzman. And I do believe that with that yellow card, that means Guzman will be suspended for the next match on yellow card accumulation. Guzman into the book here, 72nd minute.
I don't know if you mentioned in the first half, I believe Suggs is in the same boat, right, with his yellow card in the first half?
I do believe so.
So with the injury list and now a couple of suspensions for the next game, it's going to be interesting to see how coach shuffles the pack.
So this is a Fiesta Auto Group free kick here for San Antonio. So this ball played in, looking for Ford. Connects on the initial header, but that's all Tambakis.
Mexico United have struggled with that all night long. With the first contact there, it was almost a free header for Courtney Ford. He could pick out who he wanted to.
And PC called for the foul, and PC is also on a yellow. And Gallegos having a word with Michael Radchuk, our official.
I think PC just said something as he was on his way past there, and I tell you what, Ford did exactly what Austin Yearwood did in the first half, which was clear the ball, but he wasn't a million miles away from kicking the ball against Yearwood's head.
Yeah, so according to the USL official website, coming into this one, Juan Pablo Guzman and Josh Suggs were on caution accumulation warnings. According to the official matchday preview on USLchampionship.com.
Does that just mean on 4 yellow cards?
This is Tenari, plays it back. Illich over for Yearwood. Here's Suggs. Yearwood crosses that one in. Martinez flicked it back for Tete. Tete does well and then blasts that one back into the picnic pavilion.
Substitution brought to you by REDW, bringing back from New Mexico United, number 19, Salim Muhammad.
So we see another substitution here, replacing Juan Pablo Guzman. It's the Bay Area native, Salim Muhammad. That substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. Here's Epps, and that one's going to be brought back. So 76 minutes gone by, 2-2 game. Weehan and Illich for New Mexico, Nathan and Varela for San Antonio. So we'll work to get some clarification on the status of suspensions on yellow card accumulations here. Rivas, back for Tenari. Here's Suggs. Rivas over for Cello now. Cello finds Rivas. Now Weehan, and Weehan just drags it wide.
Again, if you want it to fall to one person in black and yellow, it's Chris Weehan, right? And the ball keeps finding him in these areas, in and around the 18-yard box. There was a decent cut by Cello there. I don't think Mohamed actually expected it. He was running onto it, and then it just found its way to Chris Weehan at the back post there, 18 yards out, and he just pulls it wide.
Again, tonight's replay is brought to you by TLC. TLC is the leader when it comes to home and business service needs. Here's Illich.
Really good hold-up play by Illich there.
Into the 77th minute, Ilya Illich still going strong here for Troy Lesane. Not too often do you see Illich go the full 90. Here's Salih Muhammad. Here's Weehan. Weehan through! And the rebound is put in! New Mexico take the lead. It's Andrew Tenari in the 78th minute. 3-2. The black and yellow keeping their playoff hopes alive.
What a huge goal that could turn out to be right there. Again, Weehan in and around the 18-yard box. Another good save by Cardona. He's been kind of unlucky tonight where the ball just finds its way. Two players in black and yellow at the back post there. So Cleedle is a little asleep there, but you can see there Weehan just pulls the trigger. Decent first save. Tenari just reacts first. And it's another rebound goal that just falls to an attacker in attacking area. And you can see how big a goal is. Tenari's celebration says it all.
And that is the second goal on this season for Andrew Tenari. His first goal was scored at Real Monarchs on June 30th. And you know what? That is actually the first goal scored at the lab for Andrew Tenari in the 2 years that he's played for New Mexico. And as you said, Hursty, you can just see the emotion, what it means to these guys.
Yeah, and what a moment. It's a great moment for those players who joined the club last year when obviously there was no games played in front of the crowds here in New Mexico. You see how much he enjoyed doing that for the home fans.
Andrew Tenari, the New York native. New Mexico still with some work to do. Yearwood wins the header. And just how big that goal may prove to be in keeping this season alive for the black and yellow. Tete heads this one away, falls to Epps. The Mississippi native, Marcus Epps.
Substitution brought to you by REDW entering the match for San Antonio FC number 9, Santiago Pupino for number 6, Victor Negro.
So we're going to see a substitution here for San Antonio. It's Santiago Patino coming in here as he replaces PC. Here's Epps. Looking far post, and Suggs does well to hold off Courtney Ford.
It's like a double change coming here for New Mexico United. But San Antonio have made their intentions clear there. Taking off their defensive, they're holding midfield, they're throwing on a forward. They want to try and get back in this game, even with 10 men.
And New Mexico, you're seeing a couple of subs. It's going to be Azira and Justin Schmidt. They're replacing Sergio Rivas. We'll wait to see who the second player is, and it's going to be Andrew Tenari, the goal scorer. There you can see Rivas just offering some words to his fellow Albuquerque native, Justin Schmidt. Schmidt coming on to make his 21st appearance here on the season. Tenari, as we mentioned, with his second goal on the year, and what a huge one it was. Peanut butter and Schmitty time is what the two-pole tifo said.
Wow.
And now Tambakis has been issued a yellow for time wasting. add it to the book here in the 82nd minute.
It's a little reshuffle here for New Mexico United. Looks like Suggs has moved onto the right side. That, I'm sure that'll turn into a back five the longer this game goes on at 3-2 here. Austin Yearwood left wing back, Schmidt, Ryden and Tete as the back three.
Ryden comes out to head that ball away, and New Mexico nursing this 1-goal lead. They are up a man. Ollie Wright receiving a red card in the 58th minute. So New Mexico have been playing 11 on 10 since then. Certainly making the most of their chances, as they've scored twice since then. Weehan. He's already scored here tonight. This is Chelo Martinez. Tries to play it through for Illich. And has that one cut out. That ball lands out, and we've been mentioning how tight the playoff race is. It all comes down to the final day of the regular season. Watch the drama unfold all evening long on ESPN Plus as the race for the USL Championship playoffs comes to an end. Action begins October 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. Chris, you and I will be here. Our match with New Mexico, that one kicking off at, I believe it's 9:30 p.m. Eastern, as Schmidt nearly makes a mess of that one. Josh Suggs able to clear that away. Yeah, that final day is going to be a lot of fun. Next Saturday, a lot going on. We'll see how things shake out. I mean, it's going to be something to keep an eye on tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, through the weekend, obviously next week as well. Just jam-packed here over the next 10 days.
Yeah, games going on Friday as well. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. But obviously, scores remain the same today. New Mexico United have put themselves in a great position. Great position.
Yeah, New Mexico had a backloaded schedule. There was a number of their home games down the final stretch here at the Lab, which I'm sure plays a big factor in some of their late season success, is how could it not when you're playing in front of the second largest crowds on average in the league? Yearwood up for Weehan. Weehan cuts it back and turns that one over. And what a challenge there from Yearwood. Weehan does very well to keep that one in play, and now Ford is going into the book.
That was a nasty challenge, that one. He knew what he was doing, unfortunately, there. Born completely out of frustration. Hopefully Yearwood's not too hurt there. He got studs right down the back of his leg.
So again, yellow cards brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. So another Fiesta Auto Group free kick here as we roll into the 87th minute. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand here tonight at the Lab alongside nearly 6,000 of the black and yellow faithful. Here's Weehan. Excuse me, that was Illich. I apologize. This is Weehan. Cuts it back, goes for goal, and it's headed away. What a clearance there by Courtney Ford.
We were directly behind that, and that looked like Cardona was in a little bit of trouble. That looked like it was sneaking in at the far post there, so great block by Ford.
And Weehan, you can tell, just hands on his hips. He's already got one to his name tonight.
I understand how you made the mistake between Illich and Weehan wearing his old number, right?
Wearing the old number. Well, and then too, you know, from our vantage point, well up here in the press box, they're both wearing orange boots. They both have on black long sleeves. And yeah, you know, I was used to seeing Chris Weehan in number 14 for the first 2 seasons here in club history. Now, obviously, since his return mid-season, that number occupied by Ilya Illich. So Bees is rocking the 41. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get those confused. Long ball forward for Weehan. Headed down for Martinez. Weehan again. Crosses it. Here's Cello. Weehan crosses. Falls to Suggs now. Suggs cuts it back. Low cross to Weehan. Tucks it away. New Mexico dancing their way into a playoff berth, Chris. That is the 4th goal of the night. The 3rd in the second half for the black and yellow. And they're doing everything they possibly can to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Game-setting match for New Mexico United now. Ball pops out on the right to Josh Suggs. Cuts it back. Great little ball back across. I believe it was a dummy by Illich, which doesn't get an assist, but drew the defenders to him. And who's wide open at the back post? But that man again, Mr. Weehan.
It's a brace for Chris Weehan, finding the back of the net in the 66th and 87th minute. All Chris Weehan does is score goals.
What a mid-season addition that has turned out to be. That could literally drag this club into the playoffs. It's definitely not single-handedly, but his goals. Where would the club be without his goals at the back end of the season?
Austin Bold currently trailing 3-0 in stoppage time to El Paso. So this is good news if you're a New Mexico United fan. On the flip side, if you support San Antonio, this means that you're going to be level on points with Switchbacks and now level on games played. You do still... Well, we'll have to see how this shakes out, actually, because this is going to go down to a goal differential tiebreaker for San Antonio and Switchbacks. As El Paso has just gone full-time, Tambakis comes out to clear that one away. So we've been notified that there are 5 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. And what a turn from Michael Azira, the veteran. 130 MLS appearances for Michael Azira. Did that for Seattle, Colorado Rapids, Montreal, and the Chicago Fire most recently. So New Mexico needed to win tonight, and they rose up to the challenge. So looking here what's next for the black and yellow. They're headed down to the Rio Grande Valley for a Saturday match against RGV. That's round 4 between those two clubs. And that one, a 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time kick. That's 7:30 p.m. Central Time. That one has huge playoff implications on it as well. Yearwood does well to get a deflection there. Just losing his footing there was Patino. Here's Maloney. Plays it forward, looking for Epps. Schmidt goes down.
I know what the San Antonio players are asking right now. The referee, he put his hand to his mouth as if he was going to blow. and then he changed his mind, or you know, whatever happened. So they're not impressed right now. That was a little clumsy in the 18-yard box there by Schmidt. I don't think he knew he was there, so just took a little swing at it and potentially caught the forward.
3 of the 5 minutes remain here in stoppage time. So looking ahead here for New Mexico, they handled business here against San Antonio. But as I mentioned, RGV on the weekend, and then they get a week off before closing things out. It's Chris Wehan against his younger brother, Charlie Wehan, for the second time here at the lab. And that is a yellow card for Duplan now. That is, by my count, the 15th yellow card that's been issued tonight.
Wow. Just looking at the stat board, it looks like a Christmas tree.
As I was mentioning, New Mexico closing things out against Real Monarchs on the final day. That one is going to be massive for New Mexico. And that one, a 5 p.m. kickoff Mountain Time, 6 p.m. kickoff Central Time. So I was incorrect earlier when I did that read. We're actually kicking off at 5 p.m. next Saturday.
Plays havoc on a youth soccer coach's schedule right there. 5 o'clock kickoffs. Just saying. Thanks. New Mexico United.
So New Mexico will win 3 out of 4 from San Antonio this year. It was New Mexico that ended San Antonio's season last year. It's Chris Wehan in extra time. Some say it was a handball, some don't. Less than a minute of stoppage time remaining. So Wehan just continues to score goals. You mentioned what an addition he's been here for New Mexico, Chris. He might have been the lifeline to have saved this season. And I genuinely don't think that's an understatement.
Especially with, you know, the situation with Moreno, where he's been on international duty, and now with the injury as well. Yeah, it's been a huge signing.
Huge tackle there from Justin Schmidt. And with time ticking down, that should be just enough. Our official checks his watch, and that's the full-time whistle. 3 second-half goals for New Mexico keep their playoff hopes alive as they are victorious over San Antonio 4-2 in front of nearly 6,000 here at the lab. Your initial takeaways, Chris?
I mean, much better second half. Clearly for New Mexico United, but in general, the soccer was much better. Spoke a lot less about all the extracurriculars and things like that. But some great goals scored by New Mexico United. Probably could have been a couple more.
So let's go ahead and have a look here at some of the accolades from tonight. Starting off first here with the man of the match, presented by Pepsi. It's Chris Wehan bagging the braces bees. 12 goals on the season, 8 of them coming in black and yellow in less than 2 months.
I'm sure he'll probably prefer this goal being the one that's shown when talking about being man of the match. Great finish there, but you make your own luck in this game, and the first one, the double deflection, he certainly deserved it. Hit the woodwork twice as well. Could have easily had a hat-trick tonight, Chris Wehan.
The highest transfer fee in USL history for a club-to-club transfer. New Mexico United wanted bees. They went out and got him, and this is the play of the match. This is presented by Michelob Ultra. It's Andrew Tenari, the go-ahead goal. in the 79th minute. That's the second goal on the season for the New Yorker. His first at the Lab in 2 seasons, and just look at what it means to him.
Yeah, and Tenari just took a chance, got himself in the 6-yard box, and the ball just finds him, tucks it away really well. And look what it means to him. Brilliant.
It's just incredible. And this, the save of the match, presented by Positive Energy Solar. Generate positive energy. It was Alex Tambakis here in the 54th minute, using his head
in the face. You do what it takes, right? And as a goalkeeper, he stood up really tall, made sure that he didn't go down to it, made the target as small as possible for Nathan, I believe it was, and essentially took one for the team there.
So we'll be back in just a moment to wrap things up. New Mexico 4, San Antonio 2.
B-Dub's new crispy hand-breaded classic chicken sandwich plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
This one's for all the parents whose idea of a big night out is a 15-minute drive to a takeout window.
For generations, we've watched the seasons change. My great-grandfather helped build this railroad. There's something special about fall in New Mexico. The aspens, cottonwoods, and oaks. There's nothing else like it, really.
Full time here at the Lab as the Black and Yellow celebrate with the Curse and all the other supporters groups. As the full-time scenes, New Mexico, 3 second-half goals, propelling the come-from-behind win. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here at the Lab. Let's go ahead and have a look now at tonight's full-time stats, brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. And this is how things shook out here tonight, Chris. It was a lot of offense, 30 combined shots, 13 of those on target. And again, it was New Mexico dominating possession. But I think the main storyline tonight, 17 yellow cards issued.
England, when there's I have never seen that before. I know in England when there's failure to keep your players under control, there's some rule like that when there's so many cautions and things like that, that there might be repercussions after. I'm not too sure, but yeah, possession, obviously the red card helped that as well, but the second half performance, the stats say it all as well. A deserved victory for New Mexico United.
And let's go ahead and have now a look at the full-time highlights presented by TLC. There were goals, there were a lot of them, 6 of them to be in fact. This is how the 90-plus went between New Mexico United and San Antonio. Starting things off here, Chris Wehan, 12th minute. This initial shot saved, but tapping it home, scoring his second goal in as many games, the Serbian Ilija Ilić.
The first of 2 goals that Wehan creates by a shot that is parried by Cordone there, straight into the path of Ilić is the one who benefits this on this first time.
Yeah, and Ilić, he scored with the last kick of the game on Sunday and then scores 12 minutes into this one, but it was the equalizer from the spot. It was Nathan, the Brazilian, in the 32nd minute. And you can see just the frustration from Tambakis, but a tidy taken penalty there from Nathan.
Yeah, really well taken PK because he had to wait a long time because there was some controversy in the build-up to that.
And this, the follow-up goal just 3 minutes later, the center back Joaquin Varela tapping home his own rebound as Tambakis came up big for the initial save, but quick feet there from the center back.
Yeah, great ball in by Wright. First contact by Varela, great save by Tambakis, drops straight at his feet again and pops in the rebound.
So things were just getting started at that point. This begins the second half. Chris Wehan in the 66th minute. This was about 8 minutes after the red card issued to Ollie Wright, and Wehan with the equalizer there off the deflection. That was his 11th goal on the season, and he wasn't done just yet as Wehan creates another chance. Tenari, the New Yorker, scores his first goal at home for New Mexico.
Eerily similar to the first goal for Illich, where saved by the keeper, pops out, and this time it's Tenari who's just sliding in to pop it into an empty net.
Tenari leads the team in assists. He's now got 2 goals to his name, and Weehan notching his 2nd goal of the night in the 87th minute there. And that one essentially put the baby to bed.
Yeah, and you can see that little step over by Illich there just draws 2 of the centre-backs of San Antonio. It just gives Weehan that extra split second there to pick his spot. Great finish.
So again, New Mexico will take the trip down to the Rio Grande Valley as they'll take on the Toros on Saturday night and then be back to wrap things up here next weekend against Real Monarchs. So that's going to do it for us here tonight. Chris Weehan, your goal scorer, the brace for everybody here with Windfire Productions. Gary Williams, our director. For Chris Hurst on color commentary, my name's Tyler Ortega, and we'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.